Nibukele kuhlelo lethu elimnandi le Raising Babies 101. Nazo ezimnandi siniphathelele zona namhlanje. Okokuqala ke singena phakathi kwi-cognitive development when it comes to preschoolers. Base sibuya ke we explore the concept of independence and when our children are ready to take it on. Uma sesiyoyivala ke lapho ila uzosenibonisa khona ukuthi how easy peasy it is ukuxubha amazinyo. Salmonani-ke nonke lapha emakhaya igama lami uLindo umfana kaSolomon othanda ungangibiza ngodade kaValdo. Ngiyanamukela kwihlelo lethu elimnandi ngendlela esimangaliso le Raising Babies 101 the Preschoolers Edition. Lalelani-ke niyazi-ke uma nigijima nami siyayishintsha lento sithi kumnandi kwa-parenting. As parents we daily watch our little ones grow, their bodies grow and they develop unique features, personalities and mannerisms. But ubalulekile-ke ukuthi-ke singabazali-ke phela kwamele ukuthi sizame ukugqugquzela iy'ngane zethu kodwa uzosisiza-ke namhlanje uzama ukugqugquzela lolu daba olubalulekile kakhulu. Please welcome Melissa Kaywood, educational psychologist in private practice. Thank you. How are you?
I'm well, and you, Lindo?
I'm very good, Melissa. Please explain the term cognitive development.
Okay, so cognitive development refers to the way a child thinks, interprets, and makes sense of the world around them. Okay, so basically it's a balance between what we call nurture and nature. So nurture refers to, or let's start with nature. Nature refers to the biological genetic component thereof. So that is what they inherit from their parents based on the biology thereof. Whereas the nurture side of it comes with what the child is able to learn in the environment. So what they expose to, what sort of stimulation they get. So those two play like a balancing role in the child's cognitive development.
Okay, what are the different stages of cognitive development?
Okay, so there's a lot of theories going on, but basically from the age of about 0 to 2 years, they're in a more sensory motor stage. So during this stage, they experience their direct world, only what is available in their direct environment, through all their senses. So touch, feel, or touch, taste, hear, seeing, all of that. That is why you'll often see a baby putting everything in their mouth, having their hands in their mouths, educational toys playing different sounds, having bright colors, okay? So when we move over to the next stage, which is about between the ages of 2 and 7 years, and I think that is the stage that we're more interested today, that is where language becomes very important. So they are able to start actually having a conversation with you, and as they get older in this stage, their conversation become more complex and more reasonable, they're able to reason. During this stage, however, they're very ecocentric thinkers. So this means that they struggle to see someone else's point of view. And that often leads to tantrums, to challenging behaviors. And this is a stage where parents often, find it very difficult to sort of get around their child's development. So then we move on to the stage, I would say around about 7 to 11 years. So here language becomes more better developed. So they have more abstract conversation and they're able to reason more.
Okay, let's tell me, what cognitive development milestones can children achieve at the age of 3, 4, and 5?
Okay, so that is our preschooler age. So basically here what's very important, like I said, once again, language. So language develops through this stage where they talk a lot. They ask a lot of why questions. This is where you'll get a why after every why you just answered.
True.
They start remembering parts of stories. So for instance, they'll be able to tell you what they watched on Paw Patrol this afternoon, or what happened at school. They'll be able to maybe give you more information on that. They start, or they actually have a good understanding and they're able to identify different shapes, different numbers, different colors, and also different letters.
What activities can children do to help them develop to their fullest potential?
Okay, so parents, the most important thing in this stage is play. And children learn through play. So you don't have to sit and do academic work or anything like that. Engage and play with your child. Sing along songs, that's quite important. That develops a language, it develops memory. Also, pretend play. This is a big imagination stage for our children. They can engage in, they can become anything that they want to be. They can become the biggest glitter fairy unicorn. Also, starting to practice the alphabet, that's quite important. But that you don't have to have the most expensive educational toys. You can go around, walk around, write letters in sand, build letters with sticks, play games like I Spy, and important games like Koko. That is also quite a nice game to develop conversation and understanding of other person's situations. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I've learned quite a lot from this conversation.
I'm happy you did.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu nani emakhaya ngiyathemba ukuthi kuningi enikufundile phela ukuthi sibalekile nathi singabazali uyike ingane yakho kuyiyekele nje ukuthi ihambe iyodlala ngoba phela the more idlala ila khona ekwazi ukufunda nezinye izinto kanye nokwezinye izingane futhi. During the preschool years, children are undergoing a period of rapid brain development. Parents and teachers can help maximize this period of brain development by supporting children with certain types of experience and activities, as well as encouraging children to pursue interest and play that comes naturally to them. Kubalulekile-ke phela ukuthi singabazali siqhuqhuzele iy'ngane zethu nokuthi phela zihambe ziyodlala ngoba phela mezidlala kuningi ezikufundayo nokuthi-ke phela singabazali kwamele sisekele iy'ngane zethu ukuthi phela ikusasa labo liqhakaze ngoba phela siyazi ukuthi iy'ngane zethu sithembele kuzona kakhulu. Okulandelayo decoding A to Z, and today A is for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD. ADHD has differences in brain development and brain activity that affect attention, the ability to sit still, and self-control, therefore affecting their cognitive development. ADHD can affect a child at school, at home, and in friendships. Awusisithi shwi etolo masibuya phela sobe sesikhuluma phela ngokuthi independent your preschooler should or shouldn't be. Kodwa manje sike sizodada ukuthi bathini.
I like to write let doggies run in the backyard and then I chase the doggies. I'm gonna write about me at school. Myself.
Yourself, why?
Because I like to swim, I like to go to school, and I like to play with my friends.
In today's Too Young for That, we ask, how independent should our preschoolers be? Also, is early childhood development teacher Lauren Massing and Tulufelo Matibe ononganege enomnyaka 05 ukuyena ukuthi interested phela ukwazi melana nokufundisa ingane yakhe nge-independent. Welcome and thank you. How are you guys doing? You good?
We're very well, thank you for having us.
I'm all good. I'll start with you, Lauren. What is the definition of child independence?
Child independence is when children are able to perform tasks and help themselves without supervision or without facilitation.
Okay. Sisithulu, cela usitshele ukuthi ngengane yakho yini into edependa nje kuyona kakhulu?
Well, my daughter's 5 years old and she depends on me for just outside of the regular things. She wants me to bathe her, but she does that out of she's very independent though.
Lauren, tell me, why is it important to encourage independence behavior in our children?
When we encourage such behavior, we're telling our children that they are capable. And fostering capability is important in our children because we're encouraging self-reliance. And ultimately, self-reliance encourages other, I would say, strengths. We're encouraging self-confidence, self-reliance, problem-solving skills, and language, which would help them to ask for help, for example. And that's important when growing up, because asking for help is a tool that we need. And when we ask for help, we need to know the language to use. And that's very important and vital for their development.
Do preschoolers use their power to manipulate parents by crying if they want something? They know that, oh, mommy, if I cry, she's going to give it to me. Why do they do that?
You know, I don't think so. I think that if a child cries, this is a reaction to an emotional experience. If you find that your child is crying as a manipulation tool, this is probably something they've learned either at school or from an older sibling. And then I would refer that you would let your child see an educational psychologist or a play therapist. But children usually cry because they need help.
Do parents spoil and do everything for their preschoolers at home, then expect teachers to teach them independence?
Yes, I've seen this a lot. I've seen it from preschool up to grade 3. But what we need to understand is currently we're in an economic situation, specifically in South Africa, where both parents are working. So when parents spend time with their children, it's very important. It's important time. It's time where they need to connect with their kids. They don't want to be spending time with their kids. Let's take, for example, teaching their child to tie their shoelaces. They just want to go to the park and go for a walk and spend quality time. They don't want to be fighting with their child and teaching them how to tie their shoelace and really going through that step-by-step progress to get them to to that place where they can tie their shoelaces independently. It's a struggle and it's a fight and it's a process. Rather just get the teacher or the nanny to teach them and spend time with them in the park.
Sisithulu, ingane yakho ifundisa kanjani nje independent? Iziphi izinto ongathi umfundisa zona and zimsiza kangakanani?
So I try and involve my child in day-to-day tasks, like during the lockdown period, where we were now just home together the whole time, she came up to me and said, "Mommy, can I help you with dishes?" And I find that every time I avail opportunities to her to get in and do tasks, it develops her and she becomes independent. So I avail opportunities to her and I let her know that even if she can't do a certain thing, so she'll eventually learn and embrace it at a later stage.
Lauren, what examples of simple responsibilities that parents can give to their preschoolers?
You know, there's so many. And it really depends on the capabilities of your child. But I would say simple tasks like putting on their clothes, brushing their teeth, feeding the pets if you have. But I think ultimately what you need to begin with is giving your child decisions to make that you have some control, some margin of control of. So for example, you are going to make dinner. You say, this is what I kind of have in the fridge. This is what I have available to me. And you say to your child, would you like breakfast for dinner or would you like chicken for dinner? And that gives the child some kind of control and independent decision making. But you know, there's chores and very simple chores. We also have to allow for mistakes to happen because failure is an option.
Thank you so much, Lauren. And I've learned quite a lot from this conversation. And kuningi engikufundile-ke namhlanje ukuthi phela iy'ngane zethu asike sizame ukuthi sizinikeze umsebenzi emakhaya zingagcini nje ngokuhlala ngokuthi zona ziyingane nokuthi phela mayifuna into akudingi ukuthi izikhali ukuthi uziyinikeze. Ingane nje ayibe nomsebenzi wayo endlini, umsebenzi nje lemncane noma mhlawumbe ungamwashisa izitsha noba umtshela ukuthi aqoqe amasokisi noba aqoqe ekamereni lakhe noba aqoqe amathoyizi. Kubalulekile phela ukuthi izothi mayikhula yazi ukuthi kubaluleke kangakanani ukwazi ukuziphatha. Children from 3 to 5 years old are beginning to develop their independence and make real friendships. Ingane-ke phela zibona yonke into futhi ziyashesha ukubamba. Izinto enizenzayo emakhaya-ke nazo ngeke zikhohle ngoba izinto ezifunda kuzona. Ukwazi-ke phela ukuzenzela kwenza ukuthi ingane nayo igqugquzeleke kanti nasesikoleni ikwazi futhi-ke nokubekezela. Singakhohlwa-ke phela ukuthi ukwenza ingane yakho ikwazi ukuzenzela izinto isesencane kwenza ukuthi noba seyikhulile yazi ukuthi yini ebalulekile nayini futhi-ke engabalulekanga, kodwa kubalulekile phela ukuthi sizame ukuyigqugquzela ngaso sonke isikhathi. Sekuyiso-ke isikhathi sethu somncintiswane la khona engizobe senginikeza phela u-R200 shopping voucher. Umbuzo ukuthi ngiwina kanjani Teddy? Buza mina ngitshela wena. Kalula-ke nje umbuzo wethu uthi true or false, a parent can help to nurture their child's cognitive development. Into ozoyenza-ke lapho thatha ngiphendula yakho uyifaka ku-Facebook page yethu, ungenzeka kube wena kozwinela lo mklomelo. Okwamanje asike sizodadwa ukuthi bathini.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
I like also story. The Three Little Pigs. My favorite story is Tom and Jerry because it's funny.
Sanibonani-ke ngifinde ngibonga ukuthi phela nisahleli nami kuhlelo lethu-ke limnani le-Raising Babies 101. Sekuyiso-ke leso sikhathi ngizobe senginibonisa phela ukuthi how easy peasy it is ukuxubha-ke amazinyo. Into ebalulekile ukuthi uthatha phela i-toothpaste yakho uqeda uyiputshuze kwi-toothbrush kancane nje uthi nje putshu uma uqeda uvule umpompo wakho-ke amanzi athi uthela i-toothbrush ngakhohlwa phela uma uqeda uyivale-ke umpompo ungabe soyeka amanzi ageleza nje wodwa ngoba uzoba sowumosha. Maqeda-ke siyaqala-ke siyaqala-ke sibrush amazinyo-ke manje kuba ngazathi wenza amasekela uthi kubaluleke phela ukuthi kusuke konke ukungcola ungatatazeli uthatha isikhathi ngoba utatazela moqeda-ke wenzani suyavula-ke phakathi sowenzani saphakathi-ke ususudoto phakathi ngitshelile ngathi-ke ngithi bodadewenu ungatatazeli moqeda-ke soxubha ini ulimu-ke manje xubha ulimi ususa konke ukungcola la konke ukungcola moqeda futhi uphinde ubuye uze phezulu ususa konke ukungcola ukuthi phela sikwazi ukuthi sibe namazinyo omhlophe qwa moqeda-ke futhi sowenzani usula phela namagums balekile na ukuthi uwasule uthi phela kusuke konke ukudla kwayizolo moqeda-ke lapho wenzani uphinde futhi uthi ukurinsa phela i-toothbrush yakho uphinde ukurinsa futhi nomlomo uxukuze kancane uphinde futhi ubuyele ungatatazeli uze nala emakhoneni uze nayo uze yonke indawo naphezulu moqeda-ke phela hayi la sowuqedile-ke seyila sesithi khona-ke nibonile ukuthi kulula kanjani-ke ukuxubha-ke amazinyo la sithi khona easy peasy ukuxubha amazinyo. Ngiyathemba ukuthi nifundile lapho bodadewenu.
My favorite movie is Barbie Girl. Transylvania. Superman.
Why Superman?
Because he saved people. And my favorite movie is Shrek number 2.
Hayi-ke imuvi engasho ukuthi phela siyayithanda sinomfana wami hayi iyona-ke The Lion King sazi ngisho namagama akhona yonke isiqala iziyophela kodwa-ke phela kwanamhlanje-ke ngiphethe isivakashi sethu owumculi phela odumile futhi ocula kamnandi futhi-ke phela usomabhizinisi. Hayi ngiyakwamukela-ke Ayanda Shange. Uright bhuti wami?
Bafo wami ngiyaphila unjani?
Hawu ngiphile kakhulu. Ongitshele kwenzakalani empilweni yakho? Ngiyabona ukuthi ngiyazathi izinto zihamba kahle.
Eish mnganami izinto ihamba kahle noma nje kuyi-lockdown but I'm busy preparing for my album release. Actually seyiphumile siyikhiphe nge-7 July. So yonke into ihamba kahle and my herbal shop because nginesitolo sama-herbs. So yonke into bafami ihamba kahle.
Yonke into ihamba ngomumo.
Fresh kakhulu.
Manje iluphi ushintsho like lenzeka nje since waba umzali ngoba ngiyazi phela mongakabi nengane akufani nokuthi uma sonengane.
Yes bafowami ingane yami ingishintshe kakhulu the way ebengicabanga ngayo nangendlela kade ngibona ngayo izinto. Si close ngalendlela le engawukuthi akakwazi ukuhlala engangibonanga. Ulala kwenye i-bedroom but every time mangivuka uvela buze uma wakhe athi where is dad? And sekumele noma ngikhathele sothi ngiphuma ko perform sothi ngibuye ngama AM but ekseni ngizozwa ngaye hello daddy. So sizwana ngalendlela leyo ukuthi asikhonani ngisho ukuyekana.
Kuyajabulisa lokho. Ufanele nami nalo wami ngofana azwana sikanje. Kodwa ke ngaphambi ukuthi ngikuyeke phela bafo ngifuna ukuzwa amandla. Ngiyazi ukuthi ucula kamnandi kodwa siyasibona ukuthi kwezomdlalo kanjani. Okay, yasenzani ke bafo lamabhokisi amabili phakathi kune task. Kule task ke le nami angazi ukuthi task imelana nani kodwa into engiyazi ukuthi le task ikwazi ukufundisa phela nezingane esasencane. Uyabona? So into esizoyenza ke sizoba na 1 minute.
Alright.
Sobabili. Ozoqeda kuqala ushaya insimbi. Enilalela ke bafo. Abantu abahlezi bangivakashela ngiyabahlula. Ngiyabahlula. Okay ke bafo. So isikhathi uthi sivula amabhokisi wethu.
Okay.
Aqeda ke sesibeka yona ke i-task ngapha.
Sibeka yonke into phansi.
Yonke into phansi. Masiqeda amabhokisi wethu siwabe siyafihla ukuthi angeze ukusiphazamisa.
Okay.
Sifihle ngala.
Alright.
Balekile ufuna ukuthi ufunde kahle. Hayi, bafo mina ngiready futhi
Hayi nami ngiready bafo wami.
Futhi ke mina bafo ke ngalezi. Awu ngisho umfana wami uyangazi ukuthi ngiyashaya. Ima ke bafo, our 1 minute starts now. See?
Okay.
Hayi ngifuna ukukuhlula yezwa.
You represent uAsandoro.
Asandoro. Hayi uyamazi uValdo wena. Uyamazi uValdo wena.
Lalela bafo. Ngihamba nayo kakhulu manje le wayile. Ngihamba nayo kakhulu manje.
Bafo ke mina lena ke into everyday mina.
Yizeke manje bafo mina. Ucrayona nami asikhiphi.
Isipiliyoni bafo.
Kodwa sambe bafo.
Bafo ngeke uzolunge nginesipiliyoni esikhulu kabi.
Okay.
Nginesipiliyoni esikhulu kabi.
Singibona kambe normally. Oh, all right. All right.
30 seconds ke bafo. Abathi 30 seconds ke. Hayi bafo ngifuna ukubonisa ukuthi hayi ibuzwa kumina le.
Hayi bafo ngathi ushesha kakhulu.
Ibuzwa kumina hayi phela mina ngifundisa uValdo.
Hayi ngeke nami uAsandoro nokuyibamba le wema.
Kusele 15 seconds we bafo. Kusele 15 seconds we bafo. 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Ake sibone ke bafuthi imoto yakho injani. Ake sibone phela ukuthi imoto yakho injani.
Eyami vele ya blue yo.
Isa kanjena ke bafo sibone. So ama window aka Ayanda blue. Ama window anjani blue, amasondo green. Amasondo green.
Ngibonakala ngihamba njengenyoka ngihamba kanje.
Ayisebesino ukuthi owinile ke imina ke ngimhlulile kuAyanda ke namhlanje. Kodwa into ebalekile ukuthi phela umdlalo wethu izingane phela yizo phela ocwepheshe masesikhuluma ke ngamaCrayon. Kodwa into emnandi ngithanda ukubonga kuyivakashi zethu ke zanamhlanje ngiphinde ngibonge nakuwe Ayanda ukuthi usivakashele namhlanje. Umculo wakho umnandi kakhulu ngiyazi ukuthi nababukeli bethu bazokuvashela phela igama lami ke uLindo umfana wasithole mothani ngangibiza ngoDaddy kaValdo awuthi ngithi same time same place sizonibona ngeviki elizayo inkosi inbusisi.